Welcome back to the Plays with Cars YouTube channel and another episode of Miniatures Mondays. And as you can see, we've got another round of HO scale slot cars on the docket. So this represents, I think, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 purchases over the last few weeks. I've been building up the slot car collection a little bit, mostly for racing. Basically, with the coronavirus and all that stuff, everything is still kind of shut down. They've started doing some real racing, for our real cars, but it's been spotty. There's been breakouts and things like that. County is talking about going back down a phase, so we're not real sure what all is going to go on with racing. But slot car racing is going to start coming back in the fall because it's a lot easier for us to social distance at the slot car track. It's easy to stand 6 feet away from the other people. It's easy to have a mask on, and we're talking like 12 people or so max at an HO event versus 50, 100, 200 at an autocross or a drag race. So wanted to make sure we were all set up for racing. So I mostly got some race cars. Plus, we've been racing with the kids a lot, and the kids have been doing really great. So it was time to reward them to start building their own collections. So I got a whole bunch of that, and I did get one thing for the collection. We'll get to that one last. So first of all, racing for the kids. We have found that the Lifelike M chassis, so it's the same chassis as the row car M car here, which Lifelike later bought out and made their own. You can see there, that's the Lifelike version. They are the exact same chassis, just the writing on there of row car versus Lifelike, but that's the same chassis, the M chassis. Works really well. The magnets grip nice. You can feel them kind of sticking to the danger box here. In fact, I think see, they'll stick to the side of the danger box, no problem. So they tend to stay on the track. They tend to drive easy. They go fast enough to be interesting and fun for the kids, but not so fast that they're just a blur and fly off the track. And yeah, so I got the boys a couple of race trucks here. Got a 24 and an 89. Don't know if these are real liveries or not, but they are going to be raced to their death by the 5-year-olds, so no worries there. The girls have been doing good too, and we found that for them, they can go a little faster, and they like the old school Tyco 440 X2, which I'm not sure this one is an X2. That one might be a base 440, but basically it's the Tyco chassis, the modern one that came out in the 80s. Super fast chassis, super useful. So yeah, I picked up a Corvette here for one of the girls and trying to get some more Tycos going for them, and that's for the 8-year-olds to race. This body's actually in pretty nice shape other than the missing mirror, but it's a really super common car. I think I paid maybe $5 for this thing on eBay. Like, they're just they have no value, and again, really good magnets, so they're not as good as the row cars. But again, this one, I think with the wide magnet like that, that's just a 440. The X2 has these smaller square magnets encapsulated in plastic that are stronger. Anyways, so that's one for them to race. The other one that's been doing well is, that does not have it. Does that one? No. I don't think any of these do. Okay, so the other chassis that does well is the Tomy Turbo, and I have a couple of Tomy Turbo chassis that have like NASCAR bodies on them, but the kids are tired of racing everything NASCAR, so I tried to get some different stuff. So these have old school AFX. This is a non-magnet traction chassis, see no magnets on it. And this is a magnet traction chassis. See how it's got the exposed magnet here for the motor in the back? Those are both vintage Aurora AFX chassis. But anyway, these bodies will work on the newer Tomy Turbo chassis, which is something that we do. In fact, no, those are resin wheels. I was going to say that one might have Tomy Turbo rear wheels. But yeah, I got a T-Bird, which it is a NASCAR, but it actually isn't really liveried up as much as one. So it kind of looks like a sports car. And this 3rd-gen Camaro Trans Am racer, and it's a bit loose on its body mounting clips, which is something that happens with this particular body. We're going to do the old put it in hot water trick and then take it out with this being squeezed to kind of put some more pressure on them so that it will stay on the body. But yeah, it's a couple of bodies for the girls and a couple of vintage chassis I could put under some of my collection. Which also got me this. So the racing club that I race with, Tomy Turbos, is one of the classes with a sports car body. And I didn't really have much of anything like that. So I picked this up. Datsun 240Z, one of my favorite race car bodies. It's missing a little chunk of A-pillar here, so it was super cheap. And again, just a magnet traction chassis that I will swap underneath something else, and this will become a race car for me. That way, when it flies off the track and I bust another corner off of it, it's not going to be that big a deal because it's already a damaged car. I'm not racing with some of my nice vintage stuff. The other big class that they run is the Lifelike bodies, or the Lifelike chassis with sports car bodies. And the two really popular ones are these, the Porsche 911 and the Datsun 240Z. And so I picked up a couple of those. So this is the M chassis. I'm not sure what this one is. This is the much older row car chassis, or the AMRAC chassis. I'm not sure if we race this one or not, but again, mostly just for the body to run my modified M chassis on. We also use the T, which is the newer Lifelike chassis. It's kind of square and it's got these two little round neodymium magnets in the rack. I don't think I have too many of those, but I have a bunch of the M chassis. So I got a 240Z here that I'm going to paint up like my buddy Ben Court's real life race car, which is a flared, I think his is a 260 or 280Z, but same body. I'm going to paint this up to look like his, and that's going to be my racer for that class. And then this Porsche body, I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. I kind of like it. I kind of don't like it. Haven't decided. Maybe we'll do something with that too, but those will be Susie and mine's race cars for that class. Speaking of Susie, I also got her a teal Mustang GT. It's the same body style SN95 as our old Cobra was. I just thought the teal was kind of neat because teal has been kind of her favorite color lately, and this body is really cool. The roof comes off. It's hard to do one-handed. I don't want to break it. Come on. Anyways, well, there it goes. Hey, you can take the roof off, and then it's a convertible. They give you the full interior. Yes, they are designed to do that. It's just kind of neat. But yeah, so got this Mustang just as a grins and giggles car. I don't know if there's necessarily a class for it or anything, but you know, we do have it, and it is fun to play around with and drive. So at least when we're driving with the kids, she's got something that is like totally uniquely hers. So that one was for her. And then the one for the collection, this came from Bill Graffius, Wild Bill's Slot Car Emporium, which I have featured on here a number of times. The white Matador Taxi was the only color I didn't have. I had the yellow and I had the light blue. And this white one came up and I got it from him. And I got to say, this has got to be the nicest one I have ever seen. And that's saying something because my light blue one is literally an NOS one. I took it out of the box myself. So I know exactly where it came from and that it has no miles on it and stuff. And this car is somehow even nicer. Like, I was just blown away at how nice this car was. And even the chassis is in really good shape. Nice magnet traction on there, newer rear tires. I mean, just looking really, really, really good. So super happy with that as usual. Again, if you're into collecting HO scale slot cars, you should look Bill up on Facebook. It's Wild Bill's Slot Car Emporium. And no affiliation. I just buy cars from him, and man, I gotta say, I am impressed. So if you're into the collecting stuff, get them from Bill. He also does some cheap runner lots. In fact, I think these two and this one came from him. But again, these are not collector quality. These are sold as racing bodies, racing cars, stuff like that. And that is exactly what I intend to do with him. His collector quality stuff is definitely very, very collector quality. Everything else was kind of random eBay purchases. But yeah, that's the newest slot cars in the garage here at the Plays with Cars YouTube channel and another episode of Miniatures Mondays. Hope you enjoyed that one. With any luck, we will be bringing you some actual action from the slot car tracks again starting in July. So I'll be tuning all these up, switching the chassis on them, doing the paint job on this. I'll probably make a Miniatures Monday on that, painting this up like Ben Court's real F-prepared race car, and yeah, we'll go from there. So anyways, more slot car action to come, hopefully some better stuff beyond just buying, but you know, for right now, we're buying and enjoying. So until next time, that's been the Plays with Cars YouTube channel.